let's start talking about automation and how we can actually use it in a way that makes sense for our business, or any business for that matter. So let's log into whatever automation tool that we want, anything from Python to Make to Zapier. We personally like Zapier. And we are going to start adding to one of our additional Zaps that we made. And this one is going to be around, so we got a lead recently, and let's put that lead went into our form, and now let's capture that lead into some kind of database. Everyone needs something to record their information. We want to use Google Sheets. You can tell it's a brand new instance. And so let's create this as just a sheet, TechWise USA, perfect. Poor handwriting. Let's find out, hey, what kind of information can we pull? And what would be helpful for us in the future? What might not be? And what could we use from other systems that would help us as well? So for the first thing, the trigger, which is kind of what starts off all this action, is going to be Hubspot, which is where our form is kind of embedded in. So in Hubspot, we're going to be looking for connect all of our accounts, a new form submission. Great. So right here, new form submission. Boom. Bring this off to the side a little bit so you guys can see. Great. We're going to choose our account, our normal latest account. Please note in Zapier, all things with tech, it has to be updated. And so you're going to find that even here, you're going to have to update some of your Hubspot triggers and connections every so often, regardless of the tool that you use. And now we're going to get more detailed information about that trigger. And so for this one, it's a newsletter. Let's use our regular one for our general form, and then let's test to see what data is coming through. And our form is pretty basic. So if you haven't seen our form and website yet, let me give you a quick glance. TechWise USA, very basic on our form. It's first name, last name, email, phone number, company name, additional notes. We only require one thing, one field. So let's see what information we can get, how we want to store it, and then what we can do with it. So let's rename this TechWise USA Part 2, new lead. Actually, let's adjust this. Marketing. I like to categorize it in different areas and groups of what this does. New lead submission. All right. So in Google Sheets now, we want all of this information. Let me go back to our Google Sheets and copy and paste all this stuff. So let's get me in this column, first name, last name, phone number, contact ID. So in Hubspot, there's a contact ID. There's also something called a deal ID, which is for every single ticket. There's also a ticket ID. There is a invoice ID number. And these are supplementary that we're going to be putting in the future. Company name, let's say company address. Would be nice, right? Their email address. Although I want this field to be a little bit further up. And so let's put email, column C. Great. Lead submission date, lead create date, last activity date. I love dates. So we're going to try to add more date fields in just because we can then compare when things happen, how long things need to be, what other factors in terms of how quickly are things progressing down our funnel, etc. Opportunity date. Close dates. What other dates would we have? Lead, last activity date, opportunity date, close date. I feel like we should have another one right here. Fair enough. We will keep some extra spaces along this side too that we can match to it. But anything else that we might want to consider? Contact owner, deal owner, perhaps deal owner, ticket owner, products. You can already see too that there's a lot of information that we potentially need to factor in for every single darn prospect. And so from a field of 6 different items, we are now already at a lot, 18 different fields. And so, all right, let's go back to the drawing board and see how we can now add these fields and match them up properly. And so let's actually add to responded to. Company name. Actually, we'll use that last automation ran. So I typically like to leave this for one of the last fields. Last automation ran. Okay, great. So check this out. We have now this data from a little bit of this information from some of these records. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to connect Hubspot into Google Sheets and push that data from Hubspot into Google Sheets the way that we want. And to do so, we're going to need to create a spreadsheet row. So there's different tasks from clear spreadsheet row to copy worksheet, create multiple spreadsheets rows, create a spreadsheet, create spreadsheet column, create a row, worksheet, format, update rows, API, find worksheets. There's almost 1.5 million ways to slice this, and the cool thing is too, they've actually added additional connections and features within a lot of these tools as more time goes on too. And so the capabilities that you can do are pretty incredible, although typically I stick to about 90% of just one, which is, funny enough, either find a row or create a spreadsheet row. And so the same thing in this instance. Let's create a spreadsheet row. We're going to choose our account, which is going to be, oh, actually, we're going to have to create a new account. And so let's put in TechWise USA, and we have to allow Zapier to connect. Great. It connects. We've never used it before. So let's start creating that connection. Under account, my Google Drive, TechWise USA, that's the spreadsheet. And let's find the sheet. We should also name it better in here. And so I'm going back to the sheet, and I really like to name things a little bit better. And so let's name this TechWise Marketing Submissions. I also like to customize my instances for different kinds. So I would say this is for marketing related. Let's actually change this to form submissions. The more detailed you can get, the better with regards to naming of all of your files and everything else. It just makes it very convenient and just a lot more easier to kind of, you work with so much automation that sometimes you forget. In here though, in Zapier, it still says sheet 1. So we'll go to the bottom, we'll go to the top, we'll click refresh. And what it should now say when we pull down this drop down is a different worksheet, theoretically. Let's see, did it get saved? Good, okay. Come on, if you change, now it's about matching kind of these columns that we see on here. So column A, column B, column C to the data that's gonna, first name. Let's put in this email. Let's put in phone number. Great. Let's put in contact ID. So Hubspot, or most Hubspot ID, or some kind of D or record ID, where you need to hopefully look back and match. Most of the time, people match it with either email address or phone number. I would say 99%. To be the most accurate, you're going to have to use a different type of ID number, and so this is going to be the ID number that you would want to be able to utilize. And we don't have these values yet, so let's put in the values we do have. Company name, address, we never ask, but we can include later. Today's date. So Zapier has a cool feature that allows you to create a date. Zapier date meta human now. So you use this to figure out what date it is. Okay. When they came in. Close date, contact owner. Don't have one yet. Perfect. Actually, for contact owner, let's put in owner. No, we do not have deal owner. So that's in the future too then. So let's see if we, sometimes in our records, we'll try to find additional records if it has more data, and if not, end of the world, we can always go back and make improvement. So this is our, actually rename this to V1 because we were going to be making an update to this. But this is our first version. Let's publish it, and we're going to have somebody contact this person. Hubspot instance and get a contact, which is, and now, sorry, go into our CRM. We will be talking about that that second evolution of what we want to do with a lot of this moving forward. And so the next video will be a little bit more advanced, but hopefully it's kind of helps you guys understand what it takes to in kind of moving towards a digital ecosystem that's available today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you find this helpful, please subscribe, follow, we'll be with you. Thank you so much and have a great day.